Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to do another complimentary webinar for you. And basically, it's about building your business. It is for brand new notaries. It's for anybody who wants to build their business, who is not as happy with their business as they would like to be. And we're talking about getting started, finding clients, and also getting your questions answered. I would love to spend as much time as possible on getting your questions answered because so many people have emailed me questions and are asking so many different things, and I would love to spend some time with each and every one of you who is on this call and get your questions answered. Just to make sure that you can hear me, the microphone should be open. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Send me a message or say something. I see a few hellos. You can also raise your hand for the speaking request. Let's see if anybody is raising their hand. No, not yet. Just on the chat, I see a lot of hellos. And if anybody can say whether they can hear me, yes, you can hear me. That is awesome. And I would also love to see where you guys are calling in from, what state, what city you're located in. It's always nice to see where people are from. Personally, I'm in Los Angeles. My office is in Glendale. My signing service is located in Glendale, California, all states notary. And personally, I live in Long Beach. All right, nobody has asked to speak yet. That's perfectly fine. The reason why I'm doing this is when I started this business back in 2003, beginning of 2004, I had to figure everything out the hard way. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anybody to ask questions and get answers. It was really kind of like before the internet, before all the social media stuff. And it took me a long time to figure out how to do things. And then I realized, wow, there are certain things. There's a signing service. So I can get business from signing services. I started out with escrow companies because I didn't even know there was such a thing as a signing service that I can get signings from. And that is my background. Most of my business is I've maybe done 5 or maybe 10 signings for signing services. All of the other signings I've done, many, many thousands, were directly through the escrow companies. And that is basically what you should be aiming for, what you should be thriving for. And I'm happy to help you with that. So is there anybody who wants to step up and would like to ask one question to get us going? Who wants to take the leap? Type in your question or raise your hand for a speaking request so that I can hear you and everybody else can hear you. And just throw out your question. I have a bunch of questions. However, I would love to have the questions of the people who are actually on this call. Nobody yet? All right, but we have people from Chino Hills, from Florida, from Michigan, from Texas, Houston, Texas, another one from Houston, Texas. Awesome. Thank you. One person made the leap and said, my concern is finding clients. And I can basically see everybody's head nodding. What I want to start out with is, and one person is saying where to start, how do you get business when there are so many notaries where you are? You know what? Here's the thing, a few things. A little bit more about my background. Back in 2013, I became a certified professional coach, and I realized so many things. And one of the biggest things is we're not concerned about how to get started. We're not concerned about all the other things that you asked. Yes, I know on the surface you asked the question, how do I get started? However, the only thing that is between your business today and your business, what you would like it to be, is only you and yourself and your habits. Let me say that again. The only thing that is between you and your business today and your business, what you would like it to be, is only yourself. And that is basically, it took a little while until somebody stepped up to ask questions. We're all waiting until somebody else makes a move. We don't want to be first. We don't want to look foolish. And we have the feeling we're not good enough. However, if you are a commissioned notary, your state deems you good enough to do notarizations. And I spend a lot of time on mindset, on developing that attitude, that confidence, that yes, I am good enough, so that you can go out and talk to potential clients and find the clients, because we all know where they are. They are in banks, they're attorneys, real estate agents, loan officers, escrow companies. It's just that we have a fear of actually going through the door, introducing ourselves, maybe even at a networking event. We're hesitant to make the first move. Now, I appreciate everybody's input here. It's all about finding clients, and then it's all about actually talking to them. So we're definitely going to cover that. How to get in with that title or escrow company. Actually, that's fairly easy. The interesting part is, and the person, I don't want to mention any names. I want to keep it very safe for everybody. And I also want to respect everybody's privacy. However, the person who is asking how to get in with the title or escrow company, shoot out to me in what area you're located. I would love to know what area you're in. That is almost the easiest part. Many smaller escrow companies actually prefer to do business with individual notaries as opposed to signing services. And that is where you can actually create and develop your own niche. Another thing that you may find interesting is there's really no competition. And let me explain that to you. We had about just under 200 people register for the webinar. Right now, we have less than 50 people on the webinar, which is perfectly fine with me because all you guys are really interested in building your business. Another interesting statistic. I asked everybody to complete the questionnaire. 20%, maybe less than 20% of the people actually completed the questionnaire. And less than that said, yes, I'm interested in a complementary strategy session to help me build my business. So if you're really serious about building your business, you don't have any competition. Because most people, like in any other business, they're really not interested. Awesome. So the person with the title escrow company is in Houston. I'm going to share something with you. It's I call it a ninja trick, how to get in with them through the back door, so to speak. Do you like that? All right. So we're definitely going to cover how to find clients, where to find clients, and also how to approach them. And if for one reason or another you don't feel I really answered your question, or if I don't get to it, reach out to me and I will do my best and also take advantage of the strategy session that I'm going to be mentioning later on again. And I'm happy, very happy to help you. No, actually the questionnaire is before the webinar. I'm responding to a question because that helps me to kind of like address what you guys want. I can talk about so many different things, and I would like to talk about and focus on the things that are actually of interest to the audience who is on this call. So let's think about it. Would you like to learn how to build a lucrative notary public business? The only answer, if and when you are in this business, should be yes. Why are we in business? To earn money and to have as much free time as possible. And then I'm going to ask you, would you like to know how to earn more money? And have so many people calling you that you actually need to turn down business and spend more time with your family. we're talking about how to get started in building your business, how to find clients right in your backyard, developing the right mindset every successful entrepreneur must have. What I've noticed is in this line of business and many other lines of business, let's say network marketing, multi-level marketing, a lot of people who are employed would like to improve their situation, would like to earn extra money. And they start a business, they join a network marketing company, maybe they become a notary because it seems so easy. And then they don't have the mindset to actually build the business. And there's a huge difference between somebody who is getting work from their employer, who tells them what to do, when to do it, and almost how to do it, and actually for you to go out and market yourself. Your mindset has to be, you are now in sales. And let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer the question. Just think about it for yourself. When I say sales, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Many times when I ask the question, the first thing that comes to mind when I use the word sales, it is a negative thought. And you are now in sales. You're also in sales when you talk to your kids, when you talk to your friends, when you want your kids to do something, when you want to tell your friends, hey, let's go to this movie as opposed to that movie. We're always selling ourselves. And that is the biggest thing that you have to do. You need to understand that you are in sales. You're selling notary public service, and you are the one who is performing the work. And as such, you need to have the confidence to be so convinced that you are doing a very good job that you're not afraid to tell people about your business. No, I'm not an MLM. This is a webinar of how to build your notary public business. This is not an MLM. Somebody was just asking me that. And I have a hunch that with MLM, network marketing, people have a first thing is also sometimes that a negative thought comes up. And people who are afraid to buy are also afraid to sell. So I'm going to share another myth later on in the webinar. And then also I'm going to share with you what could be the next step. Yes, one person is asking out of Florida, to grow your business, you have to sell yourself. That the most important thing you have to do is you need to work on yourself. You need to change your mindset. All right. Know your why. It's all about your vision. What is it that you want? So here you need to sell yourself on what is it actually that you do want to do. How do you want your notary public business to look like? And why do you want it? Why do you want to work for yourself when you could work for somebody else? Why do you want to be a notary? What does it do for you? Is it maybe the flexible hours, the freedom, all the meeting new people all the time? You enjoy talking to people. You don't like to be tied to an office, whatever it might be. This is very, very specific to you. There's no right or wrong answer. There's only an answer that is right for you. And then how will your life be different when you achieve it? And then the biggest question is, how do you feel about your life being the same when you're not going to achieve it? All of you who are on this webinar have taken a leap, have realized, I want to build my business and I cannot do it by myself. I need help. I need to reach out to somebody who can help me. And now take it really serious what you hear about today, what you are envisioning today, and think about how you will feel about when you achieve what you want to achieve in building your notary public business. And then what or who is stopping you? Who is preventing you from building the business you envision? Is it yourself? Is it your family? Are you still employed by somebody else? Whatever it might be honest with yourself. You have to be brutally honest. You really have to know yourself and get to know yourself in order to overcome what's holding you back up to this point. So let's talk about this notary business specifically. First and foremost, anybody who starts a business should have a business plan. How much do you actually want to earn? How much money is it? Whether it's per day, per week, per month, per year. You have to know your number. If you have been in this business for a while, you may have noticed that towards the end of the month, it gets really, really busy. And if you don't know why that is, I'll tell you why. Because companies have quotas, banks have quotas. So towards the end of the month, when they realize they're not going to reach the quota, they need to close more mortgages, they're going to look at which mortgages are so far down the pipeline that we can still close them this month so that we can reach our quota. And guess what? They reached their quota. Also, how much do you want to work? You just want to work this part-time? There's nothing wrong with it. Or do you want to work it full-time, or maybe even more than full-time? Full-time being 40 hours a week, and maybe you want to work 60 or 80 hours a week. You want to work weekends. You want to earn as much money within a certain amount of time so that you can go traveling and take time off. Or maybe you just want to work the bare minimum. Maybe you just want to have an extra $100 or $200 a week to do whatever you want to do with it. And then the big question is, how are you going to achieve that? You see, the mindset between successful people and other people is, somebody says, I can't, and a successful person is asking themselves, how can I? And I'm asking you, how are you going to achieve that? So again, know your numbers. How much do you want to earn? What is your average pay per signing? Is it $100 per signing? Is it $75 per signing? Maybe you just have general notary work. It might be $40 or $60 per signing, whatever it may be. Just know your numbers. And then calculate how many signings do you need to do per month, per week, per day in order for you to achieve your goal. And then ask yourself, is that attainable in your area? If you're living in the middle of nowhere, in a cabin, and the closest neighbor is 50 miles away, it might be not as attainable as when you live in Los Angeles or Miami Beach or San Francisco or New York City. So you have to think about, what is your area like? Oh, Houston. And from which clients are you going to get the work? From escrow companies, attorneys, private individuals, whoever it may be. It's a very, very simple mathematical calculation. And all big corporations, they have quotas, they know their numbers. If you follow the stock market, sometimes you hear that a company has exceeded their earnings or has not quite reached the earnings. So everybody, all the big corporations, they know their numbers, they know what they want to aim for each month, each quarter, each year. And sometimes they achieve it, sometimes they don't. The most important thing, though, is they know their numbers. Let me share with you a list of potential clients. And you may already have some of those clients. Otherwise, think about what clients you're currently not serving and think about how you can serve these clients as well. Title and escrow officers, signing services, banks, attorneys, loan officers and mortgage originators, real estate agents, private individuals, and other locations like retirement homes, hotels, cars, dealerships, hospitals. I know notaries in Las Vegas. They go to the hotels all the time. Probably Orlando might be a good place as well. As same with maybe Miami Beach, where you have a lot of tourists. So think about, where can I market myself? What potential customers? And also, where are my customers staying? Who knows my customers? Now the question is how to find the clients. Most people, they love online. The reason why they love online is because it's passive and they don't have to talk to anybody, and they hope, and let me tell you, hope is not a good business strategy. They hope the phone is going to ring. They hope they're going to get a text message or an email for potential signing, so that they don't have to be proactive, pick up the phone or knock on somebody's door and ask if they have business for them. So online marketing is mostly passive. Do you have your own domain name? What I noticed is that with many people who sign up for this webinar, many of you notaries, you're still using Yahoo, you're still using Gmail. Now, in my opinion, Yahoo and Google with Gmail, they're so big, I don't need to advertise for them. Think about your own domain name. Why don't you have your own domain name? All the big corporations have a domain name, and anybody who is serious about the business should get their own domain name, whether it's a personal name, whether it is something that is related to the line of business you're in this case being a notary or a mobile notary in your area, maybe Houston Mobile Notary, Dallas Quick Notary Signings, whatever it might be. Think about your own domain name. All right. Also, online notary directories, whether it's a signingagent.com from the NNA, you might be familiar with SnapDocs, Notary Rotary, Notary Cafe. There's so many online notary directories that you can sign up with, and then you hope you're going to get a call. Now, LinkedIn is a different story. LinkedIn you can do actively and passively. You can also actively reach out on LinkedIn to potential clients, whether these are escrow officers, real estate agents, attorneys, or you can just have your online profile and again hope that somebody's going to contact you. Now, all the escrow companies who are in business, they probably have been in business before you became a notary, and as such they really don't need you. They already have a list of notaries. So how do you become one of their notaries? How do you get on their list? I can show you how you're not going to get on their list. You're not going to get on their list by just sitting at home and waiting for them to call you. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Then you can use Google or Yahoo for organic and paid advertising. Organic searches when somebody is searching for for a notary in your area, or you advertise. Pay-per-click or pay-per-impressions when somebody is looking for a notary, then you can pay so that you're listed very high in the searches. Another one to think about is Thumbtack. Personally, I do not use it because that is not the market that I want to go after. However, for any individual notary who is servicing a particular area, this is definitely something you should look into and see if Thumbtack might be a viable advertising option for you. And then other search directories, bulletin boards, maybe Yelp. Also, chambers of commerce might have online directories that you can advertise in when you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Now let's talk about active marketing. And that is what distinguishes the people who earn more money from the ones who don't earn as much money. You need to be active. You need to go out and promote and market yourself through networking events. You can do it through the Chamber of Commerce, realtor associations, civic associations, attorneys, the Bar Association, real estate investment clubs. Join a networking group like BNI or LitTip. Meetup has a lot of networking groups, meetup.com. Or attend business luncheons. Business luncheons are put on sometimes by chambers of commerce, by other associations. But the nice thing is, you might think, well, nobody who goes to these luncheons needs a notary. And that may be true. However, think about who they know. If an accountant goes to these luncheons, if an attorney goes to these luncheons, think about who else they know who actually might need a notary. So you need to think about your marketing approach and your networking approach a little bit more three-dimensional. Don't just think, does the person who I'm talking to need a notary, needs my service? Think about, who does this person know who they can potentially refer me to who needs my service? And most people overlook that part. And make sure you hand out your business cards. Make sure your business cards are legible. Make sure your business cards have the information that needs to be on there. And then also, while you're handing out business cards with your phone number on it, you might think about telephone etiquette. If you use your telephone for private calls and for business calls, answering the phone with a simple hello may not be enough. Maybe you need to use your name, or maybe you may want to add something about, this is Stephen, mobile notary in Dallas, something like that. Whatever it may be, think about that. The active marketing approach should be this way. First and foremost, approach your clients, whether it's at work, at their own associations, or social events. The beauty is, at work, everybody is busy, especially escrow is busy. You may have your own opinion already. You say, I don't want to go to an escrow company because they're busy and I don't get to talk to anybody but the receptionist. Well, think about, where else are escrow officers hanging out, so that you can meet them outside of their line of work and exchange information. You also need to think about that people need to know, like, and trust you in order for them to send you business. So the first thing is, they need to know you, then they need to like you, and they also need to trust you, especially in this line of business with all the confidential information that we are privy to. There's so much trust involved. And when I know somebody face to face, it's totally different than knowing them through a message that is being blasted out to a gazillion notaries and one person might be responding. So establish a relationship with them and also follow up with them. Many people, after a networking event or after exchanging business cards, they have a big collection of business cards. They never pick up the phone, never send them an email and say, hey, it was great meeting you. Let me know how I can help you. And then, do you have a customer retention system? The companies that you're currently doing business with, are you staying in touch with them on an ongoing basis, whether they send you business or whether they don't send you business? A perfect time to stay in touch with them is when they send you a check for payment. Hey, thank you so much. I got the check. Let me know when you have another signing in my area. Oh, by the way, if you have something in an adjacent city, I'm also happy to help you out if you don't have a notary available in that area. Make it easy for them to do business with you. And ask for referrals. Who else do you know who may benefit from my service? As you already know, I'm very reliable. I'm always on time. I pick up documents, I drop off documents, whatever applies to you, so that they cannot get lost in FedEx. And I'm happy to help anybody else you may know. So here are 3 steps you can actually implement right away. I call it the fast start. First and foremost, find 3 new online directories that you can advertise in. So these should be new ones, the ones that you're not currently advertising in. Find 3 networking events in your area that you can personally go to. Contact 3 of your past customers. Ask them if they have more business for you or if they have referrals. And then find 3 clients in your area that you have not done business with drive up to them, walk up to them, however far they are away from your place, and get in touch with them. Introduce yourself, leave information, and also follow up with them. Retirement homes, convalescent homes are awesome because the people who are in those homes most of the time are not as mobile. Also, high-paying jobs who need notaries, like attorneys, they really don't want to drive 15 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour somewhere else to get the signature notarized. Attorneys, they invoice per hour quite a bit of money, so they're happy for somebody to come to the office. And you might already think, well, they probably have someone in their office. Well, how do you know they do? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe the person is on vacation or is unavailable otherwise. So it always makes sense to reach out to as many people as you can. So let's talk about this big myth that is out there. And that is that you need experience in order for you to be successful. The secret is you don't need experience. You just need to be a better marketer than your fellow notaries. That is all there is to it. If you want more business, become a better marketer. Become a better business person. Become a better communicator. Set goals and follow your goals so that you actually achieve them. And I'm going to throw in a bonus myth. You also don't need to have signing agent certification in order to do loan signings. Yes, there are some banks out there, there are some escrow companies out there that require you to have the NNA signing agent certification. However, it is not mandatory for many other companies. Also, Notary2Pro.com has a great certification program, and she is working with a bunch of escrow companies and companies that know when you have gone through that particular training, Notary, the number 2, pro.com, you're gonna go to the top of their list of notaries to be contacted when they have a signing in your area. There's still plenty of business out there. Some escrow companies now also require 2 years experience before you're allowed to work with them. Still, there are many smaller companies that don't have that. And as far as experience, you might think, oh, I just became a notary, I don't have experience. Think about how your previous career, how your previous job has prepared you to be a good notary. And that is where the mindset comes in again. We need to be very thorough. We need to be reliable. We need to be detail-oriented. And think about how your previous job has conditioned you and has prepared you to be all those things. So this was pretty easy, right? The biggest step now is developing the right mindset. The right mindset that every successful entrepreneur must have. You see, there's some people who hear something, they go out there, they don't need all the information, they just are so excited, they hit the ground running. And somebody else, they need to know everything front to back. They need to think about every hypothetical that can happen. I posted something a few days ago in our group and on the page, I believe, that I was asking, who are you? Are you somebody who is hitting the ground running when you're excited and just want to get things done and go out there and be busy? Or are you not getting started until you know everything in detail? Until you know every law that is out there, every potential possibility that you might encounter, every question that you might be asked by a potential client? And that is what's holding you back. So the mindset is very, very important. You see, your conscious mind is the goal setter, and your unconscious mind is the goal getter. The conscious mind has all these grand ideas and goals, and yes, I want to achieve this, and I want to achieve that, and I want to earn this much money and have so much free time with my family. And unconsciously, your unconscious mind is holding you back. It's procrastinating because you don't have all the answers yet. It's because you say, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to ask. And you cannot take your business to the next level with the same set of habits you currently have. If you could, you would have already done it. So two things. First and foremost, as a notary or as any type of entrepreneur, solopreneur, you're working in the business. In our case, you are the notary public. You are providing the service. You need to set the appointments. You need to do the accounting. You need to do the driving to get to your appointment. However, you also need to schedule time to work on the business. And the most important thing is personal and professional development. You have to become the person that can take your business to the next level. The interesting part is, so many people are always asking me, how can I get more business? How can I become more successful? Yet the same people don't think they need to learn about goal setting, time management, improving their communication skills, or overcoming the fear of rejection. Certain people said, I don't have in some of the answers, I don't have a fear of rejection. If you don't, you should have so much business that you're too busy to handle it all. So be very, very honest with yourself. And yes, thank you. One response just now said, mindset is everything. And you're so right. And that is the most important thing in being an entrepreneur. You are a salesperson. You are selling yourself. You are selling your service. And you need to go out there and you need to be so confident that you are so good and you're doing anybody who you talk to a favor, because if they don't use their service, they're ending up with a mediocre notary who is making mistakes and it'll cost them more money at the end of the day. That is the mindset that you have to have. The question is, do you have the mindset? Yes, one person is also saying they're an overthinker. Yep, that's a way of procrastination. And overthinking stems from I'm not good enough. I don't know everything yet. Most of the time, you know more than the people who are sitting across from you who are signing the documents. Let me throw out a poll on the screen. I would love to ask you a question, and I would love for as many people to participate as possible. The question is, what can get in the way of building your business? Now that you have a little bit insight of what it takes, what's important, throw out your answer. I'd love to share it with everybody. It's nobody knows who you are. That'll also help you to think about. I'm going to leave it up for a little while. Love it. So here's the thing. All these things that I'm putting on there are all internal. None of this is external. Lack of knowledge is how you feel about yourself. Fear, time, I don't have enough time. We all have the same amount of time in the day. We have 24 hours, 86,400 seconds each and every day. If we don't use them, they don't roll over. Unlike mobile phone plans where we have rollover minutes, time does not roll over. Whatever you don't use today, it's gone tomorrow. The good news is you're getting the same amount of time tomorrow. So it's just lack of planning. And then other distractions. Guess what? Other distractions are called life. Things are coming up. And nobody said so far family. So it's all internal. And that is why I'm saying the mindset is the biggest thing. And when I realized that, I realized in order for me to take my business to the next level, I have to change my mindset. And ever since I've been working with coaches, I've been joining a few mastermind groups and really work on my professional and personal development to become the person to take my business to the next level. You have no idea. I've been coaching notaries, and this is a very, very personal information. I've been coaching notaries since 2006. I was on the phone in my own signing service. I was running it by myself. I was finding notaries the long way. I was looking on Google Maps where the closest notary might be. I went into the database. I called the closest notary up. And I developed personal relationships with a lot of them over the phone, not in person. I only met a very, very few notaries in person. And some of them were brand new. I gave them tips how to build their business. I just didn't know it was coaching. I believe it was 2013 or 2014. So I started coaching in 2005, 2006, roughly. And the first it wasn't a webinar, it was only a teleseminar where I was on the phone. It was the hardest thing for me to do because I didn't think my knowledge was valuable. I didn't think that I knew something that somebody else didn't know. I thought this is basic knowledge. Doesn't everybody know this? And so I had a fear too. I thought I didn't know enough to share this with people. And I've realized over the years that so many people are longing for help. They're reaching out and I want to improve my business. Help me, help me. And that is what I'm here for, to help other people to build their business. So lack of knowledge and fear, it's totally understandable that we have it. It's just that we and only we can overcome it. Now, when people tell us how great we are, of course, it helps building your self-esteem. However, you can, without being cocky, you can also improve your self-esteem by telling yourself how great you are. Unfortunately, most of the time, we put ourselves down. And it is as easy to lift yourself up. Try that sometime. Lift yourself up instead of putting yourself down. It's going to make a huge difference in your life and in your business. So I'm going to close the poll now. So oops, I don't know if you guys see that yet. So I'm going to end the poll. It should show up on the screen. If not, I'm going to read it. Lack of knowledge, 31% of the people said that they have that. Same 31% said fear. Time, lack of time, 7%. 14% planning, and 17% said other distractions, which is life. So in an ideal case, and I don't see it on the screen myself, in an ideal case, you should see the poll results now. And I'm happy to help every one of you overcome your belief that you have a lack of knowledge, your fear of not being good enough, help you with time management. I believe it's called the Parkinson principle. It's not the disease Parkinson. The Parkinson principle talks about that your work will expand into the time that you have available. Meaning, if you don't set yourself a deadline, if you think you have 3 days to finish something, the work will take all 3 days. Or you're gonna start until 1 hour before the deadline in 3 days, and then you get it done in 1 hour. Think about that. So here were the awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm reading a few messages. Also, not knowing not knowing why. I'm not sure if I understand that question correctly, not knowing you why. So ask yourself, how fast do you want to grow your business? If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. As I mentioned before, you cannot take your business to the next level with your current mindset, with your current skill set maybe, or with your current habits. See, the habits that you have today are creating your tomorrow, are creating your future. And some notaries have been in the business for more than 6 months, for more than a year, and they're still reaching out and are asking, how can I build the business? Now, there's no magic answer. I'm not going to give you the magic phone number to call, and when you call the number, somebody says, oh my, I've been waiting for your call. I have 25 signings for you this week. That's not going to happen. However, instead of giving you a fish, I teach you how to fish. At this point in time, are there any other questions that you guys have? Oops, hold on. Something happened on the screen. I'm not sure. There it is. All right. All right, what is your question? You can type it or you can raise your hand to actually ask it. Yes, any recommendation for mobile notaries? That is a very broad question. Let me share you what I did. When I started out in this business, so many notaries, and I know that because I used to be on the phone when I called notaries to see if they have time for a signing. When somebody calls me and asks if I have time for a signing, I always say yes. Of course, unless I'm not in town or for some other reason. Okay. However, when you get a phone call asking if you are available for a signing, number one, say yes, and then ask questions. Well, the first thing I would ask is, how can I help you? And then, where is it? Sure, I can help you. I've always put the money part at the very, very, very end. Many notaries, the first questions out of their mouth is, when we call them, is, how much do you pay? Okay, you don't even know what kind of signing it is. It might be a one document signing, or it might be a 100-page loan signing. Okay, ask questions and put the money at the very, very end. You see, by the time you ask how much are you paying, instead of saying how much you charge, you should be grateful. As far as I'm concerned, you should be grateful when somebody is calling you without knowing you, asking if you can work for them. Now, some notaries still have the employee mindset where they get so much salary, so much per hour, so much paid per day. And that is then, of course, they say, I charge this much. The first thing should be, I can help you. Ask the questions, what kind of signing, where is it, how many signers? Perfect. And then you ask, here's what you should be asking. How much have you allocated for the signing? It's very, very non-intrusive. And then whatever number they gave you, then you can say, yeah, that works for me. Or you can say, justifying it, I normally charge more, and here's why. You might get a phone call from half across the country, and they don't know why you're charging more. Maybe it's a winding road to get there. Maybe there's a lot of traffic to get there. Oh, somebody is saying there's, hold on, the screen should not be blank. Let me check something. fix something real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, hopefully it came up again. And oh, there are so many questions coming in. I won't have time to answer them all right here, right now. So I'm doing my best to answer them out after hours. Somebody's asking, where can you get general notary work training? You know, the notary work training you should have received when you became a notary in your state. Then you're good enough to be a notary. Okay. One person is asking, how do I sign up with your company? You can sign up with my company. It's all states with an S, notary.com, and then /fidelity. That shows you the paperwork that we need. And my company also utilizes SnapDocs. One person is asking about an apostille. That's a little bit more elaborate. Let's see who else. No, Notary is not my primary source of income anymore, full disclosure. Number one, I have a signing service. So that is what I do. And then, of course, I also coach and consult people. So here's what some other people said about the webinar series that I've done ever since, I believe it was 2013 or 2014, if you'd like to know. And I'm sure when you go through your notes that you took today, there's a lot of information. Yes, I will provide answers to the questions if you have completed the questionnaire, and or if you're also taking advantage of the strategy session that I've offered to all the people, and I can bring that up right now. Let me see. Here's the offer for the strategy session. Click on the picture, click on the link if you would like to have a complimentary strategy session. I'm very, very happy to talk to you individually, answer any questions you might have. The only requirement I have is I want you to be serious. I want you to be serious about building your business. I want you to be serious about developing the mindset and developing your skills to take your business to the next level. And then, of course, there's only so much time that we have available today. If you do want to be part of my ongoing mastermind, feel free to do that. When you are part of the mastermind, you have access to my previously recorded webinars, which are 6 total. You're gonna get on our list of notaries to be called first. That's not a requirement. You can still get on our list also. However, when I train you, I also know that you are a very, very good notary, and then maybe you are one of the notaries that is being called first. And then you're also going to have access to the ongoing live webinars. And I like people who take action. And that is why it's only a one-time fee of $47 to become part of this mastermind with ongoing monthly webinars. And I'm also going to give you a complimentary second strategy session. And then it's for the first 5 people who are really fast action takers. They're also going to get the success factor assessment, which tells you how you see the world. And then I'm going to guide you through how you can actually make adjustments in your life, how you see yourself, how you see the world, so that you can become more successful. And that is gonna come up. Give me 1 second. Wow, you guys are so active today. I love it. It's awesome. So this offer is good for 1 hour. So you can click on the picture. And yes, if you have submitted your questions through the online questionnaire, I will definitely get back to you with your answers. Now, most of the questions were already answered. And then I just need to, oh, you're welcome. Somebody was saying worked for me in 2015. Yeah, and you know what? Unfortunately, because I'm not on the phone as much anymore, I kind of like miss that. Yeah, somebody said they were told that they needed 2 years before fidelity. And according to the information that I have, it is also true. However, there's so many other companies out there. Don't hold fidelity responsible for your lack of success or think you need to work with them in order to be successful. There's so many other companies out there. And one notary needed to go because looks like they have an appointment. That's perfect. That's what it's all about. Be out there and serve your community, serve the escrow companies. And remember, if you're serious about building your business, you don't have a lot of competition. I would say there's no competition. Now, if you think that you're competing with all the people on SnapDocs, you can think that way, and you need to build your business locally with direct connections, direct contacts who are more concerned about knowing the notary that they send business to as opposed to sending it to strangers. The questionnaire was on the registration page when you signed up for the webinar, and also in the email there was a link to the questionnaire. So if you go back to your confirmation emails, there's a questionnaire that was asking about certain things, and you can still complete that questionnaire definitely. And if you are interested in a complimentary strategy session, reach out to me. I'm very happy to help you. As I said before, I just want you to be serious about building the business and taking the advice. Sometimes when we get free advice, we don't apply it. I know that from some clients that I've been coaching in the past, they're always being asked by friends, hey, how do I this? How do I do that? And they're professionals in their field. They advise them, and then their friends never do anything with it. You're so welcome. And with that, we are almost to the top of the hour. We have a few minutes left. Think about how you can build your business, what steps you want to implement, which companies, which categories of potential clients you want to go after. And also in the recorded webinars, I show you specifically how you can specifically find clients in your area. It's so easy online these days. Yes, you can listen to it again. You should be getting a link with the, you should be getting an email with the link to the recording. Absolutely. And I also hope that you took a lot of notes. Okay, nobody raised their hand to actually ask a question via the microphone. That's fine. So many questions coming in through the chat function. You're so very welcome. Happy to help. Keep me posted how you're doing. I'd love to see success stories. And I wish everybody a wonderful, a prosperous, and successful time, and also a lot of fun in going out there and building your business. and serving your community. Many people don't really appreciate what we are doing, the responsibility we have. And we have a lot of responsibility, especially nowadays, in this day and age with all the impersonation stuff, with people impersonating other people. So make sure you always stay safe. You always have a nice word for the clients. And you're just going to be a happy, smiley person when you're out there serving the community. Until next time, and I will keep you posted when, oh, that's awesome. One person says, thanks again, great information, been doing this 13 years and still needed advice and encouragement. You know, you're so right. Here's the thing. Sometimes people say motivation doesn't last. Yeah, neither does showering. That's why we take a shower every day. And we always need to be reminded of the things that we know, the things that we used to know. And I'm sure that most of you have at least heard one thing new. And if it wasn't new for you, probably something that you were reminded of that you used to know and maybe used to do. And that's what it's all about. So keep reminding yourself of all the good things and all the positive things that come with this business. Until next time, bye-bye.